Hey guys, welcome to the ST2K show, NES 30th Anniversary Podcast. This is Ronmower along with the Starsoldier and the Jman.
Hey yo!
How's everybody doing out there?
Woohoo! The future is now. This is a day removed after Marty McFly arrived into the future, 2015. And a few days after the actual NES 30th anniversary, we couldn't do it on the anniversary because of schedule conflicts, but we are here now. And yeah, some of you guys may have remembered I did a 25th anniversary video 5 years ago, and kind of wanted to do a personal video about it on my own channel, but due to video editing complications and stuff and work, wasn't able to do that. But I thought it'd be more fun to do a podcast today on the ST2K show, or tonight. We're recording this at 1-something in the morning. Wiiguy may join us a little later, but right now it's just me, Starsoldier, and Jman. We're going to talk about 30 years of ECW with the NES. And, I mean, wow, it's kind of mind-blowing. 30 years, I mean, the NES is just, in my opinion, the greatest system of all time. It's what saved the video game industry. And that was, I mean, in '83, you had the video game crash, and Nintendo came along, and I read an article about it, I forgot where, that it was kind of a risky thing for Nintendo to do because, I mean, especially in the New York market, I mean, it's kind of tough to get people to get companies to sell this system because, I mean, at the time, video games were no longer popular. It was during that time where the crash took place, and Nintendo took a big risk, and then it ended up becoming one of the greatest systems of all time.
Yeah, they also had to disguise it and say, oh, it's not technically a video game system. No, it's a robot video game system.
Oh, yeah.
See this robot? It's not like that old Atari, no.
Yeah, you just got robbed.
Yeah. And I never to this day used Rob the Robot.
You're not missing much.
When I was a kid, though, I wanted it so bad because it was a robot. And I was like, Daddy, I want to buy the Nintendo, get the Nintendo with the robot. No, son, that robot's dangerous. What?
And 30 years from now, it'll be so valuable. I can make a lot of money.
Yeah, and I don't know if my dad was being serious or it was dangerous. I guess because he thought a robot might come to life and shoot me with the laser or something. I don't know what the heck he was thinking. Or he just thought, no, it's too expensive. You don't need it, and it's because it's dangerous. And oh, well, okay, I guess. I did get a Nintendo eventually, of course, but not with the robot, just with the zapper.
Well, the gyros are kind of dangerous. You get those things moving, you can put your eye out.
Yeah.
Christmas story.
Shoot your eye out.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen gameplay footage of it until AVGN did the Rob the Robot episode, and Gyromite. And as a kid, that probably would have blew my mind. I'm like, oh, cool! Like I'm interacting with the robot, and whatever. But knowing how that game is, I probably would have gotten tired of it quickly. I mean, I remember another toy robot I had. It was 2XL or something, where you put a cassette tape in it and it talked to you. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was like a fun way to learn math or whatever it was. That was pretty cool. And so I've also wanted to Rob the Robot, but never could get that. But when and also, when you're a kid, you have a different perspective on video games. Like, whoa, Action 52, that seems legit. 52 games, wow, cool. Or the Power Glove. I wanted that when I was a kid, but I look back now and I'm like, man, I'm glad I never got those things.
It's a cool novelty, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but Nintendo was very successful. I think it lasted 9 years. Is that right?
That's right. It actually lasted till 1995 in some markets where Nintendo wasn't discontinued. And the last official game was Warrior Woods, and the last unlicensed game was Sunday Funday.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember my copy of Nintendo Power Magazine in '94. I think Warrior Woods was on the cover, or if not on the cover, at least in that issue. And I remember hearing about that was like the last game or one of the last games to come out for the NES, because SNES was popular and they're going to focus more on that. So, I mean, yeah, a good decade of ECW. I mean, Contra, Punch-Out, Zelda, Metroid, Mega Man, of course, Mega Man 2. My favorite game of all time is on the NES, Mega Man 2. And, I mean, yeah, it's just, I could go on and on. This podcast could go on for hours. But off the top of my head, all I can say is countless hours of fun two-player action, except when I would piss people off in Contra and keep jumping up on the waterfall level and killing them. Yeah. Fun memories with Mario 1, 2, and 3, and the awesome 8-bit soundtracks. I mean, at the time I had fun with the Master System as well, but I had good memories of that system, but more so the NES. I had the Master System first before I got it, and I would see commercials of Nintendo saying, now you're playing with power. I'm like, Daddy, I want to play with power. Can you buy the Nintendo? Finally got one sometime down the road, and games like, I remember one, I mentioned this in my Simon's Quest LPs on the Ronmower and ST2K channel. My dad surprised me with a random game one year, and that was Simon's Quest. And that's how I got to know Simon's Quest and have fun memories of that, despite how frustrating it was. Me and my friends try to sit there and figure things out. It says go to Deborah Cliff. Go that way. And no, go this way. And then fun times. And, man, just, yeah, I mean, the NES is just so great. And what do you say, Star Soldier?
Yeah, games like that are awesome because there's no way you can play those games on your own and figure out what's going on. Yeah, you sort of had to go through friends or check Nintendo Power to see what they really mean or what they really want you to do at this part of the certain game. So you had more of an adventure element compared to like the more arcade style that was more prevalent in the early 80s. Yeah. They tried some with E.T., to make a more adventure type of game, but it failed miserably because, it was too basic of a system and you had to do all this weird stuff. But with the original Nintendo, the graphics, sounds, and, the gameplay was better. So you could kind of forgive games like, Castlevania 2 or, the original Legend of Zelda for having some sort of cryptic adventure elements that have you scratching your head. What do you do now? And then when you figure it out, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, that's cool. And then you keep on playing, and you keep on loving the game. Especially a game like Legend of Zelda, which has cool, fast-paced arcade action with a cool adventure element in it.
Yeah. Yeah, really. I mean, and Zelda was one of the first non-linear game I played was Simon's Quest. That's why it was so hard to me, because I'm so used to Contra and Mario Brothers, just go right. Mm-hmm. And the linear levels. And then Simon's Quest, go left, and then, what the heck is going on here? And then Zelda, the overhead view, and you can go left, right, up, and down. And, of course, the Konami code, up, down, left, right, BA start. And every kid knew that. We'd tell each other about it in school. 30-man code in Contra. There's one of the games I got for my birthday when I was a kid. And, yeah, I mean, epic ECW. And Wiiguy's with us. Wiiguy, welcome.
Oh, thanks.
About time you showed up.
I had business.
You suck.
I had NES
we can't have an NES podcast without Wiiguy.
Yeah, the Wiiguy, despite Wiiguy, my most interest is in the NES.
Well, it's not your NES guy. And so we were just talking about our fondest memories of the NES and what games impacted us the most, and all the good stuff.
Good thing I skipped that because I have no fond memories because I didn't grow up with the NES.
Yeah, but you still have played a good bit of games, though.
Currently, yes, I.
Yeah, so. I forgot that you're a lot younger than us, but...
I mean, I can share my first times when I was discovering the NES in 2008, 9-ish.
Yeah?
I mean...
wait a minute. What about me? What about me?
Wait, hold on, I was going to say, is Star Soldier, if he's finished, we can move on to Jman, or if not, go ahead and continue.
Of course.
I'm done.
Okay, Jman?
I'll give you a real quick fond memory. I went from hating to go over to my dad's house every other weekend to wanting to go over to my dad's house every weekend because he had a Nintendo.
Right.
Until my mom finally bought me one. Then I didn't want to go over to my dad's anymore. There we go.
Yeah, I would go to my dad's on the weekends, too. He lived in Mejia, Texas, not too far from Waco, and we would rent games every Friday when I go over there for the weekend.
Yes.
And I told this story before. I might have been NES, whatever podcast we did years ago. One weekend, my dad rented Mario 3. And now, during that time, I was kind of sick, but I was still going over there for the weekend. During that night, though, I was feeling a little sick. I was a little nauseous. And I saw Mario 3 in the truck, and I was like, whoa, cool, you rented Mario 3? All right. And then a few minutes later, I threw up. and
threw up awesomeness.
And my dad, after I threw up and stopped the truck, pulled over, I threw up outside, my dad goes, you got a little excited there about Mario 3, did you? I said, I guess so. But felt better after that, and plus Mario, because, I threw up, and now I got Mario 3 now for the weekend. Man, that was epic. Oh, ECW, Mario 3, so many fun memories of that game alone for the NES. It was on the top 3 of the Nintendo Power Top 20 list for years.
Yes.
And I remember the LP we did on the ST2K channel. That was fun times. And, I would love to go over my dad's on the weekend. And but there was still a few times where we were renting games because we didn't know better at the time that we regret playing. One of those games that weekend with my dad's was Roger Rabbit.
Oh.
And another one was Total Recall.
Oh.
I totally don't want to recall that.
Real quick, I did not regret renting that game. I actually enjoyed it. I don't know what I was thinking.
But Roger Rabbit?
No, Total Recall.
Oh. And I did not enjoy it. But there was other games. There's Road Blasters, another game I played on the weekend.
Great game.
Yeah, and of course Mario 3, and there's Dr. Mario, Tetris, during the weekends of my dad's, and that was pretty cool.
The most exciting thing for me, besides playing Mario 3, was seeing it in the video store, like there was a copy still left to rent.
Yeah.
Because that didn't happen every weekend.
Right. Yeah, because the good games always take them because they're so good, and you just had to be there.
You gotta out of school, get your parent to take off work, and then you might be able to get it.
Just pull a George Costanza, look at the computer at Blockbuster, see who has it, go to their address, and say, "Hey, can I have that
computer? What?"
Remember, this episode of huh?
Just computers.
Yeah.
More
Oh yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
What do you mean you only have Bandai Golf left?
Go grab the spreadsheet.
Right. Yeah. Any more memories, Jman?
Metroid.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember the first time I played that game, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Besides finding the work ball. But it was so fun. Barely got anywhere. I guess I'm making myself sound too stupid, but
it was a tough game.
Yeah,
it's a tough game.
It didn't come anywhere close to completing the game. I remember getting the bombs and then going down to where Kraid was and getting completely lost, and then starting over, going over to it's not Meridia, it's Norfair, and I remember getting to Ripley and destroyed
Ripley.
That was about it. But granted,
believe it or not.
Well, believe it or not, yeah.
That was before the internet and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I seen we haven't talked about Nintendo Power, but I learned the Justin Bailey code, and so then I was able to beat the game.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I never knew the Narpus sword code until I did the LP on ST2K, and Green told me about it. That's how I beat the game, because I've never beaten Metroid legit to this day.
Not even with Justin Bailey?
Nope.
Wow.
Not even with Justin Bailey.
Yeah, I remember being the game. I don't know, with Nintendo Power Mats and not with the Justin Bailey code, because I found out firsthand that once you beat the game, whoa, it's a chick.
Yeah. And at the time, that was a big surprise.
Yeah. Took her helmet off and holy crap.
Yeah.
I knew it was a cross-dresser the whole time.
And at the time, those maps you saw in Nintendo Power Magazine, they were cool to look at. Like, wow,
Yes.
look at these levels, and wow, that's the shape the level's in, and you had to see the whole. I remember getting players guides like the NES game Atlas. That was cool. I mean, man, yeah. So the Nintendo magazines were awesome.
Yeah, they're definitely a big help.
Yeah, especially
My
back
grade
then, where there's
strength-
no internet. What
My
was that?
grade strangely went down in 5th grade. I could call it Nintendo Power. I don't know. Yeah, totally.
Oh, I used to call the Nintendo Consumer Service Department all the time because I loved talking to someone at Nintendo, and I would think of a question to ask them, and when I couldn't think of a question, I just look in the Nintendo Power section when they were sending Q&As to people, and I was still questions from there, and it was so awesome. And there was a few times where I did call the game counselor's hotline. I told this story before. Because I would try to get help for some Nintendo games like Shadowgate, Simon's Quest, and I thought of a trick where, well, if you stay on the phone for 59 seconds, they can't charge you because they charge you per minute, and 60 seconds equals 1 minute. So if I stay on the phone for 59 seconds, I'm gonna get charged anything. Wrong. And my grandparents paid the bill. My grandpa got mad at me. Don't ever do that again, Ryan Lee. All right. So I never called Nintendo Power ever again until I got my own phone, and by that time it was 900 number. And of course, this is back before the internet got like it is today, and so there was still 900 numbers for gameplay advice and all that good stuff. So yeah, I loved I wish I could have called the Nintendo Power game counselor's hotline as much as I wanted to, but I was only able to do that one time, and after that, no more. I was like, oh dang it! All right, I gotta settle for Nintendo Power Magazine. Gotta wait a month before I get my next copy, or you can also write letters to the gameplay counselors, and that was pretty cool. And they did get back to you on time, and that's how I got through most of Shadowgate when I was a kid. Because that game, Shadowgate, was hard at the time. I mean, it's trial and error. Once you beat it, you know it's easy. But when you first play that game, oh man, I mean, at first I hated Shadowgate because it was too hard. But then it grew on me. I was like, this game is cool. And so Shadowgate is definitely one of my top NES games.
Great game.
Yeah. And alongside, this is not part of my childhood, but Deja Vu and Uninvited, I would go on to play later in my adult years and play it on YouTube, and those games are great as well.
Speaking on Nintendo Power, I heard about a great game through that called Maniac Mansion. I fell in love with that game. I would have never heard about it if it wasn't for Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
Great magazine, but it was, it was Nintendo's attempt to grab players to purchase new games.
Yeah.
It was a profit type thing, but hey, they did a pretty damn good job because there was a lot of great games on the NES, like Maniac Mansion.
Yeah.
There was also a lot of shitty games, and well, we don't really need to talk about that because, well, the internet.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we could for the lulls, but
I think it's a better platform to talk about the great games.
Yeah. And Shatterhand was a game I recently played like 1 or 2 months ago. I did a let's check out of it on YouTube. Man, that game was awesome.
I sold that game for quite a bit of money recently.
Yeah, I mean that it is hard, but great game.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's a shame that you can only use a melee attack, but at least you can get some different robots to help you out.
Yeah, the opening story reminds me of Blaster Master. It's like that's the opening story.
Yes.
And then so Shatterhand just shows this guy has power in his fist. He knocks somebody out, and then Shatterhand game start. What? Okay, well, it's still a great game. So, oh well.
Yeah, sometimes you didn't get a lot of storyline in a lot of the original Nintendo games, so you sort of had to make your mind up. But
Yeah,
if the gameplay was good enough, you didn't care.
right. And I was one of those kids that didn't care necessarily about the storyline, or I never read the instruction book. So I would just, I would just tear the box open and want to pop in the game. Forget everything else.
Yeah.
And that's why I would have trouble figuring out stuff at first. Well, how do I do this? Well, son, here's the instruction book. Read it. Oh, okay. So, but speaking of instruction books, the instruction booklets in itself were pretty ECW. Very elaborate, colorful, showing images. I remember the Mario 3 instruction booklet was cool. The Zelda instruction booklet, Contra, Mega Man 2.
Contra, though, I don't think was in color.
Oh, really?
I just remember Life Force. It had some of the old crappy art, and it's in black and white.
Huh.
So they cheaped out on us there, but
I remember for sure the Mario 3 instruction booklet was cool. It showed images of all the worlds except for like I think 6, 7, and 8. It kind of had like question mark over them, where like, oh, these are the mysterious last levels. Can you make it this far? And the instruction booklets are cool. Unlike the Genesis, I think all Genesis instruction booklets were like black and white, and I thought that was kind of lame. But because Sonic the Hedgehog's a colorful game, why would you black and white that? But whatever.
I don't have much experience on the Genesis, but I can tell you when I rented games, most of the time for the NES, they were like photocopied. So like the instruction booklet was black and white. It wasn't glossy. It was just photocopied.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes Blockbuster would do that.
Photoshop.
Yes.
No.
They wish.
But
does anybody remember Blockbuster?
Right, that's the joke, really.
I remember. I loved. Well,
way back in my day.
I like Blockbuster, but they were more expensive than my other local stores called Flicks, and I went to Flicks all the time. That's where I first rented Turtles in Time. But of course, I rented lots of NES games. That's where I first rented Xanadu. And my mom was with me, and I said, I want to get this. I've seen this in Nintendo Power. It reminds me of Zelda because the cover. And I was like, I want to try this game. And my mom, I guess, is one of those people that judges the book by its cover, so to speak. And she goes, do you know what that game's about? Because all it was a bland background with a little shield or whatever, kind of like similar to Zelda. And I said, well, no, but it looks cool because it looks like Zelda. And I played Xanadu, and not as good as Zelda, but still a good game. And but yeah, like Blockbuster,
you could do a lot worse.
Yeah, and but Blockbuster, I did run a few games there. So yeah, I mean Blockbuster and Flicks, I think is just a Texas chain rental store. I don't know about anywhere else. I'm not sure, but oh yeah, Blockbuster was ECW.
Mr. Video.
That's Jman's local rental store, Mr. Video.
Now it's Family Video, which I want to say a little thing about Blockbuster. I hope I don't get too far off subject. Family Video is alive and well. They do the same thing that, Blockbuster used to do, only they're not as greedy. Blockbuster didn't get Netflix. They didn't get Hulu or, all those sites. Crackle, whatever. They were just too greedy. That's why they're not around anymore.
Yeah, like GameStop.
There's still local video stores to go to, and also get game rentals in lieu of GameFly, which takes forever. Anyways, back to Nintendo. My bad.
Yeah, no, that's good. Starsoldier, did you recently sell your collection?
Yes.
How much did you get for that?
$32,000.
Woohoo!
That's it.
You bastard.
Yeah, could you let me? No, I'm just kidding. My PayPal email is no. I'm kidding.
I was about to say that you didn't even say your joke there. You were just like, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I think the joke is obvious, but
you didn't sell your little stadium events, did you?
I actually did. Yeah, somebody from the U.S. actually came to my little booth, gave me $12,000, and that was the start of me selling my collection. So all those videos where I had my NES games. Yeah, that's it. I no longer have them no more.
It's okay. Now it's time for an EverDrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna faint.
Sorry.
Not because you sold them, but because somebody bought them.
Yeah.
I
I
had
mean-
a lot of people asking for them.
So is stadium events more rare than the NES Championship cart?
No, it's not.
Oh,
There
okay.
were still 200 of them made, but it is a canceled licensed NES game, and that's why a lot of people, want it in their collection because it's the rarest licensed NES game ever made, where Nintendo World Championships wasn't officially released to public, and it doesn't have like a, seal of approval on it.
Yeah.
Stadium Events is a rare breed of game because it's essentially World Track Meet, but the original model,
Yeah.
released by a third-party company and not by Nintendo.
World Track Me. That was a game I wasn't good
Right.
at, but I love the Power Pad.
Yes, and I believe that World Class Track Meet was only usable by the Power Pad.
Yes.
Yeah. And I loved the Power Pad because back then I was like, whoa, cool. Because
It's a cool idea,
Yeah,
but sadly, it's another
Yeah.
thing Nintendo put out that they didn't support very well.
yeah. Well,
Here, play these 6 games and only 6. And then, oh, by the way, the Power Pack game is canceled. Don't buy any more of them.
yeah.
I have to disagree, but only because the first Nintendo that I actually got, I lived with my mom. I went to my dad's every other weekend. The only reason that I disagree with that was because when my mom actually bought a Nintendo to keep me from wanting to go to my dad's house all the time, there was a deal. Nintendo, $99, had the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt World Class Track Meet. So that was pretty cool. And then, of course, once I figured out that you don't have to jump up and down on it, which really you had to jump up and down on it. You try to stamp your feet. It doesn't quite work very well. But yeah, of course, once you figure out, just get down on your hands and knees and just hit the first 2 things on it with your fist. You can run really fast. You can beat all 6 of the contenders.
Yeah.
And, all of the events, which actually there's 6, but really it's like 3 because, well, actually there's just 1 because you just run and a couple of them you jump. Anyways,
Yep.
that was a
jump.
great experience for me personally,
Yeah.
having all the games.
Yeah.
What if like there was a wrestling game included with that, and when you would tap out in the pad, that was signal to the system you're tapping out, and you lose?
World class wrestling meet.
Yeah. What if they had like a wrestling ring that you could plug into the NES and like wrestle in there and that was like just tap out in the mat, tap out.
They were probably thinking about that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, but I don't know if it would. I mean, it sounds good when you think about it, but then it might be one of those ideas that flop, like the Power Glove and
LGN would probably made something like that.
yeah,
That's
or
the original idea for the Roan Rocker.
or Active Enterprises.
Or Rock and
Yes.
Roll Wrestling.
Oh man, jeez, that
yeah,
never happened.
Power Glove was so bad.
It's so bad, but you know what? It helped spawn a good movie in The Wizard.
It's okay.
I liked it. Well, I mean, I liked it because it's about Nintendo and promoting Mario 3, and even now I look back on it and I can see why people hate it, but it was a cool concept, and it's like a brilliant idea to push Mario 3, even though Mario 3 would have sold itself. But I mean, Fred Savage and I
Winnie
think,
Cooper
yeah,
and Marilyn Manson. I mean, that guy from the one.
yeah, oh yeah. Jimmy Woods, that movie was based off Skip Rogers, by the way. I'm just kidding. And yes, I mean, I love The Wizard, and it's much better than Mario Brothers movie. But let's not talk about that. Yeah, and so, but yeah, speaking of peripherals, I prefer we talk about. I don't know.
Well, before that, I just want to say that NES itself sparked the internet community back in 2006. Come on, AVGN. If it wasn't for the Nintendo, there would have never been that resurgence about the NES itself.
Right.
I remember going to pawn shops and seeing Nintendos for $10.
Yeah.
Before that. Then a year later, it's $40, one controller. Yeah. And then prices rise, and then Starsoldier just made $30,000.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember I don't have it no more. I had the top loader NES. I paid like $50 for that back then in '97. And yeah, that was cool because the original model, you had to blow in it and it would mess up. The screen would flash, but the top loader, it didn't mess up as much.
Oh yeah, I still have that. I can't get rid of my Nintendo collection completely.
Yeah,
I still have the top loader.
Yeah. Right now, I had to sell my small collection I had a while back to make down payment on rent one time, and but the only games I actually have now, I think I probably bought them after that, was right now I got Excite Bike. I got the cart for Excite Bike, and I forgot what else. I have to look later, but yeah, I had I didn't have like a big collection of NES games, but I did have Jackal, Metroid, Mega Man 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes. This is when I snagged some great games from you.
Yeah, he did. And yeah, so I had others too. I forgot what else I had. I think I had Contra and Super Contra.
Jim, for NES, yeah, you had those as well.
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, great game to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is, when I was collecting all my licensed games, there's games that I would never play, like Color Dinosaur, Firehouse Rescue, Taboo.
Wait, didn't you and Jay play Firehouse
We
Rescue?
played it for like 10 minutes, and we never ever played it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's still some undeniable legends for original Nintendo, but yeah, there's the fair share of crap too.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That made the AVGN all popular.
Yeah. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what other game really. Oh yeah, Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly as far as the NES, mainly the first one. Me and my friends played a lot. The cutscene where Shredder would talk to you and his hand would come out the screen.
Yes.
It was so weird.
That was cool.
The music.
Yeah, that was cool. And man, just I remember that cutscene being so awesome, and the cutscenes in Ninja Gaiden. Man,
yes,
awesome stuff, and the soundtracks as well in the Ninja Gaiden games. With the first one, I don't know too much about 2 and 3, but the first one really awesome.
I'd like to add a game. I compare it to Ninja Gaiden, at least the first one, a Synax.
Oh yeah, that cool game with the ats, or the Night Dude.
Yes.
Oh, Astyanax.
That was a good. Yes.
Anthrax, whatever it's called, yeah.
That's a great game. That was one of the first story-based games that I ever actually got into. Just the story itself. It was really cool.
Cool story, bro.
Hey.
Yeah, it's cool that these original Nintendo games were giving you something more than just a game and play it and use your imagination. No, they were also giving you.
It opened the road, just like Activision opened the road for Nintendo.
Yeah,
that was the first third-party company.
Mm-hmm.
Which was people that worked at Atari and got tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Atari pretty much imploded on themselves, and people still wanted to play video games, but Atari was making so many bad decisions that, of course, they were about to, die.
Yeah.
But Nintendo,
when Nintendo came out, well, not long after Nintendo came out, because they released awesome titles of their own, which got it really started. Third-party
Super Mario Brothers
flooded in, and that's what made Nintendo so fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the launch games like Kung Fu,
Yeah.
Clue Land, the original Donkey Kongs pop by.
Yeah, I was just
It's
thinking
hard
about.
not to fall in love with it.
Yeah, I was just thinking about Kung Fu. I did a video of that this past summer. A long time no play.
Yeah.
Love Kung Fu.
It's great too because it's based on that movie Meals on Wheels with Jackie Chan.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he looked so much like Jackie Chan in the game.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Cool.
and that's a great game.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a Let's Check Out that years ago. Wiiguy did an LP of it. Was it Jman or Wiiguy that did an LP of it on ST2K?
Me. It was
okay.
me.
Okay.
No, I did it on my channel, not on ST2K.
Oh, so it was Wiiguy's LP or Gen 2's?
Probably Gen 2.
Yeah, I don't recall doing it.
Yeah, Monster in My Pocket. That was pretty cool. And
easy but fun.
Yeah, and don't forget Battletoads.
Easy but fun.
I wish.
Hard but fun.
Yes.
Remember the Clean Your Wiener, whatever it's called, J-Man?
Hard but fun?
Yeah.
That is probably the best controls of any game that I ever played on Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the games were a bit too hard.
Yeah. Man,
I'm a world champion and everything, but
that's a game where if you die, it's your damn fault. It's your own damn fault.
Oh yes, the classic Jman teaches Nico how to play Battletoads. I mean, I still have my or owe my skills to Jman because of course we had like 2 weeks of him just teaching me how to get through the game.
But then after Wiiguy beats Battletoads, Wiiguy kind of teaches Jman how to play Battletoads.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
I remember HVGN's review of Little Nemo the Dream Master, and he was saying how back then games like this were freaking hard. It taught you about real life, not this Ratchet and Clank stuff today. Easy games. We don't want to hurt the kids. We don't want to hurt the kids' self-esteem. Back then, games were hard, just like real life. That was good stuff.
Pretty true. No passwords, no continues. A lot of the games didn't have a save feature.
Or the games that did have passwords had ridiculously long passwords.
Oh, yeah.
Love Metroid, but Metroid sucks for that right there. That long password.
Yeah, Metal Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear. Great game, but hard.
Yeah. O's look like zeros. Fives look like S's.
Yeah. But I think Little Nemo, Dream Master, and Star Tropics, two very underrated NES games. Those games were epic.
Yeah, very true.
I don't think Little Nemo was underrated.
Yeah. Well,
it's starting to get more of a cult following now.
Yeah.
Because it does have, pretty whimsical graphics, music, a cool style to it that people can appreciate.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it never got a sequel.
All I'm saying is that it was in Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was, like it was out there. It wasn't underrated.
I first discovered it through a friend, and we played it, and it's very cool. And Star Tropics, I discovered that through a friend too. Star Tropics, that was a fun LP to do on ST2K. I had a lot of fun with that, and very hard game, but very cool.
It's weird too because we're talking about games that are not released on our systems. Like one of my favorites is the Guardian Legend.
Yeah,
that's one game I can sell.
Yeah. And I remember me and my friend, he was trying to beat Star Tropics, and he did end up beating it. I think it was Nintendo Power Strategy Guide, or I don't know if it was Player's Guide, or it might have been the NES Game Atlas. I think Star Tropics wasn't that one, if I remember correctly. And man, but he was sitting there trying to beat it and look through the magazine, and then he finally get to Zoda and beat the game, and we sit there and we watch one of the best endings in NES history. Star Tropics had an awesome ending. And, man, Star Tropics is definitely one of the best games on the NES. And I was surprised that they did make a part 2, but I heard it wasn't. I never played that one, but I heard it wasn't nearly as good as the first one. But
they changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
And probably not for the better.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't make Superstar Tropics. I'm surprised that game hasn't been, released over the years for like newer systems, Nintendo systems. Because Star Tropics is very good, and yeah. So I love the music in Star Tropics, the storyline. I mean, and it's it's one of the innovative games for its time because you got a letter in the that came with the game, and you had to dip it in water to get the code to activate the submarine, whatever it was.
They did the Cabbage Patch Kids shit.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And
yeah, it's weird because my letter was in both French and English.
and again, Little Nemo was so dreamy. And Mike Tyson. Yeah.
Have a seat over there.
Yeah, don't have a seat over there. To Catch a Predator was pretty cool. No, I'm just kidding.
On the NES.
Yeah,
good adventure game.
Actually, there was a guy. I think he still does stuff on YouTube now. Stan Birdman.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Okay. He did a video as Chris Stallis, which is actually an NES game. I probably said it wrong.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And he did like a little review of it, and he did like a little To Catch a Predator thing. I tried to find it. It's not. He deleted it. I suppose. I haven't been able to find it, but it was
I
great.
think it got copyrighted because it has like Nickelback music in it. For some reason.
I don't know about all that, but I tried to go back and find it. This is before I even knew what the hell To Catch a Predator was, but I thought it was pretty awesome. It was like 2007.
Okay, well, for the 5 people that are listening right now, if you happen to know what video that is, please share it with us. And
5?
Yeah. All right, 3.
There's only 4 of us.
Yeah. Well, Gen 2 will probably listen, maybe. And let's see. I was also mention, speaking of the Power Glove, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Fun memories there. I never played the game with the Power Glove, but when I was a kid, the game was so hard to me. Piston Honda was hard, and at first he was, and he was the first real challenge because, of course, Glass Joe and Von Kaiser they're jokes, and then Piston Honda, that's when it got real, and then King Hippo and Great Tiger. Soda Pop Penske's my favorite on that game. He's funny, and
once vodka drunk Sinski.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Nintendo had to censor some stuff.
Yeah. And
that's probably one downfall of the original Nintendo is because they had to censor some of their games, to make it more kid-friendly, I guess.
Yeah.
Which, back then it had a little bit more of an edge, and that's what kind of made the Sega Genesis more popular, but I don't know, you take it for what you will. And you can still blow up Hitler and Bionic Commando, so it's not all bad.
Yeah. I thought Commando was actually based off the movie with Schwarzenegger.
It should have been.
And
then it would have had a good Schwarzenegger game out there.
And if you see my video uploaded here recently, I thought Gunsmoke was related to the TV show Gunsmoke.
No, Capcom was just being, I don't know, let's take a popular name out there and make a Western game on it.
Yeah.
But not buy the license.
Well, they put a period between gun and smoke. Like
it's gun.smoke.
Yeah, so I guess, how's that going to protect copyright or prevent you from getting sued? But I guess it did. I don't know what the heck was going on. But my first impression of Gunsmoke is pretty good. Good soundtrack, good challenge.
Yes.
Not a bad game. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look past the old copyright stuff, it's actually a very well done arcade port.
Well, I just got a notification the video's been taken down for copyright. No, I was kidding.
Oh, again?
No, Nintendo's not going to do that.
Yeah.
They'll just collect the money.
Yeah. And good luck with that, Nintendo. Go to Ronmower's channel. You'll make some money there. Yeah.
They're still doing it. I mean, think about it. If they can take down 100,000 videos and make 10 cents from each one of them, well, that's $10,000.
Yeah, exactly. What do you say, Wiiguy?
No. No to the stuff that Nintendo with the videos YouTube.
Yeah. Speaking of, going back a little bit.
Well, yeah, it sucks, but hey, for real quick, hey, for you, Wiiguy, you got
Hmm.
the LJN Defender. He
Yeah.
mentions you in every video.
Oh, I
I've
mean,
seen
I've
that. That's
just
pretty awesome, man.
well up until at the beginning when we had come to know each other, and he was like, oh yeah, you're the guy that does 8-bit stereo, and he's like, oh yeah, that's all like.
Yeah,
I
like
forget if
I
he.
don't understand I don't understand the difference between 8-bit stereo and what I play on my programs that play NES soundtracks, but
Well,
right
I
on.
mean, mine are more clear and crisp, as I've described a thousand times to everyone. Because there is a difference. There is a difference.
It sounds like it's doubled up, but okay.
Well,
Anyways.
not really. It's definitely separated and reverby and all that jazz.
I can see the difference, and I enjoy it. So that's good
Thanks.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see what Jman's talking about, but at the same time, yeah, I can see like the difference, and it sounds it brings something different to 8-bit tracks, which people love to listen to, and then it just sounds more crisp and clear. Like, whoa, this sounds it sounds better. My favorite track sounds better now. And that's pretty cool, and that's what gets people's attention. And
Yeah, it sounds a lot better than my old black and white TV I had back in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
On your
of
HD
course,
speakers, of course, it's going to sound better.
Yeah.
of course. Well, yeah.
Yep. You did do Gunsmoke 8-bit stereo, right?
Yeah, that was way in the beginning.
I mentioned that in my part 2 of Gunsmoke. I said we got to probably do this. I wonder who the composer is. I'm sure I can look it up. I'm sure we would be happy to tell me.
Yeah, Junko Tamiya.
There you go. All right.
Great composer of Capcom.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw Capcom when I played the game. I said Capcom. Oh, okay, this should be good then, because Capcom was ECW back then.
Oh yeah,
And
it's great with the original Nintendo because not only did you have better graphics than what was done before, but the music in there is just so awesome, and a lot of different games out there.
Yeah.
Mega Man 2, Batman Return of the Joker, all those great games, epic soundtracks.
Yeah, definitely, dude. The Metroid and Mega Man 2 soundtracks just blew my mind. Man, very awesome. Of course, you got the traditional memorable tunes from Punch Out and Zelda, Contra, the jungle theme.
Yeah, it's iconic now. Whenever they had to make a sequel or update or something, they had to include some sort of soundbite like that.
Yeah.
Come on, Konami, make a new Contra already.
Yeah, Konami.
Yeah, let's not even talk about
Stop
Konami.
making pachinko
Please.
machines.
Right?
Yeah.
Please, no more Konami.
It's sad. Like the companies we loved back then from our childhood, Capcom and Konami. Like, look what they become.
Yeah.
What they become today, man. It's so depressing.
Well, I will say about Capcom, they've been money grubbers since the start. So they haven't changed.
Yeah, but at least back then they developed.
They made good
games.
They made good stuff.
And back then you didn't know about the business in the games, and we didn't care.
Right.
But yeah, I see what I see what you're saying, and it just is. And Rich Review Tech USA talked about this before when he said Capcom only had like 128 million in the bank. Now to us that's a lot of money, but to a company it's not. I mean, you're on the edge of I don't know bankruptcy or just going out of business or whatever. I mean, and it'd be sad, depressing to see Capcom and Konami if they were to go under, because it's like, man, at one time these companies were, the top video game companies in the world, and it kind of hurt. It kind of it gets us in the feels. It hits us in the childhood that what they become now. And I understand that companies can't be on top forever, but the way Capcom and Konami handle things and look at them now, it's sad.
Now, speaking on that, do you remember if it was Capcom USA or Capcom Japan? Because they're independent companies.
I don't know. I just liked Capcom. I mean, I didn't know if it was USA in particular or what. I mean, sometimes you would see Capcom USA. I don't know if they did Mega Man 2 or what, but I remember some Capcom boxes for the NES, it would say USA on it, and some didn't, but, I mean, I don't
Right. That's why I was like wondering. Is sometimes
Yeah,
you
all
see.
the games were still made in Japan, at least for Capcom titles, but sometimes they would hire, like, for the newer games especially, like the new Devil May Cry, that was made in North America.
Yeah.
But it was only till later where they decided to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like split apart. Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah, because I started to see that like more recently. Well, and not talking 2015, of course, but I'm talking like 2009, 2010.
yeah,
Sure to notice that.
we got to say, I know you don't have childhood memories, but you still have some good memories of NES games, and so what do you got to say?
Oh yes, the beginnings. Of course, it all started with you, Ronnie. Thanks to the. Well, I mean, I had interest in general, but when you first started to talk about Target Renegade, that was, of course, my first interest in an NES game, or the first one I bought when I got my console, or the hardware clone.
Yeah.
And that snowballed into everything of the collection I have now, and the interest in, of course, video game music, and of course the Fallen Brothers, which that sparked from there, and of course reviews, and just everything that I really like to consider myself a part of. And of course, I've explained many times about my love for Target Renegade, the guilty pleasure. But I also remember the first games I got. Batman, the video game, was certainly one that I got, and of course. Oh yeah, that was a really fun LP, and of course,
You go
the
Skull
sun's
Castle?
off.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that was Skull Castle too. God, I gotta take another trip back to the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, and of course I had to get like the commons like Bayou Billy, which
Crocodile
Konami.
P for the NES.
yeah, Mad City, and what else was a part of like my first Sky Shark,
Sky
which
Shark.
was an insanely tough game, insanely tough shooter, and there was a lot. Roller Games was another.
Roller Jam.
Roller Jam. Yeah, I wish I had taken a picture of like the very first like 5-10 games I had, because of course I remember thinking back then like, man, I've garnered a nice little bit of games, and now it's like exploded into a lot. But in the beginning it was simple with only the games I got, and I still was lucky to get some like big hitters for games that nowadays would fetch a good pretty penny, like Return of the Joker Batman, which I got for like $7 at like a local store, which was good considering now it's like $40. But of course back then, luckily, I also didn't. Yeah, but also it was a bit of a, I wouldn't say ignorance is bliss, but it's like I didn't really care about the price of the games, because they were generally like $1 to $10, and that was good enough for me. Oh yeah, of course, Fester's Quest was another one.
Ugh.
Definitely,
The game
I think
sucks. Music is great.
as we all have agreed countless times whenever that game has been brought up, and I mean that's kind of like that's a majority of the theme when it comes to like either being like this game's good and the music's good, this game sucks, the music's good, or just talk about the music. It's always revolved around that too.
I want to go back to like the actual days of the NES in just Fester's Quest. I actually had that game, and I didn't like it very much. But I would get to a certain point where I would fight that first boss, and then you could pause it and just sit and listen to the music.
Yeah, the games where you pause and the music doesn't stop are always the best. And luckily, Target Renegade was one that had that feature, which made it fantastic.
Before the internet had all that crap, and it's become crap long before 2015. That was nice.
Yeah.
You actually, you couldn't just push the power on the NES. Had to, of course, push the cartridge down, I actually had an NES that I couldn't push the cartridge down anymore. I actually had to leave it out a little bit and then like crunk it down. I know that's a bad word, but whatever.
Crook it.
I had to like drunk it down in there because like the little chink thing,
The pins.
it wouldn't keep it down in there. But if I went in there, it would actually hold. And then after that, I had to use the second controller and just stick it in there.
Yeah, I remember.
To keep the game.
Yeah, I would see kids put like a second game in there to keep the other game down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I won't miss about the original Nintendo is its original awkward box design.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but
another thing, that thing was tough. That controller was tough as hell.
And hello.
Echo.
Echo.
Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah, for the NES.
Echo to Ryan.
Speaking of Dolphins, made me think of the Miami Dolphins, which made me think of Tecmo Bowl, another fun game for the NES.
Good segue.
Hut. Yeah. Hut. And
it was much better on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but for the NES, so Tecmo Bowl was fun. I mean, I loved that game. Wasn't good at it, get my butt kicked at it, but I loved Tecmo Bowl. And yeah, another game I personally loved for the NES was Yo Noid.
Yes.
And a great soundtrack. Oh, that game was so hard to tick me off, but it was good. I did a long time no play of that. I think it was last year, maybe. And I remember I told the story. I don't know if I told it in my video, but I remember when I was a kid, I got real far. It was I think a night level. It was a level at night, if I remember correctly. And I mean, I was doing real good. I got real far in the game. All of a sudden, the game froze, and man, I lost it. Oh man, I was so mad. I freaking lost it. I had to get so far in the game, the NES had to freeze. Oh, I hated that when you get far in the NES game and then it'll freeze or something, or someone might accidentally bump to the system and it'll make the game reset and start flashing. Like, oh. And you was in the times where, I mean, it's so frustrating back then, but it's funny to look on it now, where I would get so lightheaded because I would blow into the cartridge so hard because I was getting so desperate to make it work. And I would get so lightheaded to where I felt like I was going to pass out. And I was like, come on, work. Because I didn't always have the little cleaners that you use to clean the connectors and stuff.
That shit didn't help.
Yeah, it really didn't.
Yeah.
My mom bought one of those cleaner things, and it didn't do shit, and then I blew on the cartridge, and the shit worked.
Yeah, your breath worked. And they advise you not to do that because over time, the moisture from your breath...
Yeah, because they don't want it to work, so you have to go out and buy a new one.
Yeah, they said the moisture from your breath would corrode the connectors, and I didn't care. I was like, well, that's a long-term problem. Like, right now, as long as it works now, I'm fine. I'm going to blow in it. And there was cleaners like, I forgot what it's called, Naki brand cleaners. There was a pink cleaner, and you stick into the NES and put solution in there or something to clean the connectors inside the NES. And, I mean, they really work.
They had, like, Dr. Fix-It or something like that. Dr. something.
Dr. BS, because it didn't work. And speaking of doctors, Dr. Mario, another fun game.
Yes.
Man, one of my old roommates from the D house whooped me in Dr. Mario. I was never good at it, but fun game though. Dr. Mario is epic. Great soundtrack. And yeah, very ECW. Oh, it's
what about Super Mario Brothers?
Oh yeah, of course, Mario 1, 2, and 3. And I think some people hated Mario 2. I'm like, why? Mario 2 was cool. I loved Mario 2.
It's a great game.
Oh yeah.
It was just a little bit different from the original.
And that's why people didn't like.
That's what I don't like is, man, nobody knew about the damn original. That's one of the effects of the internet. I like the internet, of course, because this wouldn't be possible right now. But at the same time, it's like, man, nobody knew about that shit.
Right.
It's like Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah.
If you played it, at least in America, I don't know about Canada. Sorry, Starsoldier.
It's the same in America. Yeah.
I know technically it's Final Fantasy 6, but if you put the game in if you put the cartridge in the machine in your Super Nintendo, it's Final Fantasy 3.
Yep.
It wasn't until the internet that it's, all of a sudden it's Final Fantasy VI. Come on.
Yeah. And a lot of people didn't like Simon's Quest at first. A lot of people still don't like it today. It has mixed reviews, but it was different from the first.
Had to have Nintendo Power.
It was different from the first one, and I can see why people didn't like it. But see, from my perspective, I never played I played part 2 first before I ever played part 1. That was the game that my dad picked at random to surprise me with, and I played it first. And so then I went back and said, I want to play the first one. Shout, that's like, and the first one was freaking awesome too. But the formula was different. Even AVGN has admitted that he actually liked that game to a certain degree. He actually liked Simon's Quest. He didn't hate it as bad as he made it out to be in his first review. But it does have its problems, but it was different from the first one because the formula was different, and I guess a lot of people, Konami caught on to that, and that's why Part 3, Dracula's Curse, went back more so to the first game, the formula, the first game rather than the second one. And
somebody's got Capcom on the brain.
Yeah, well, Capcom is. I mean,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, they're a big part of my childhood. Street Fighter. I mean, I know that's Super Nintendo.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, Capcom, Mega Man. I mean, Mega Man. Come on, yeah. And that's another one. Mega Man 2 I played before Mega Man 1. It seems like I've played part 2 of a series before I played the first one. I don't know why.
Well, the Nintendo was really popular, I'd say, around the 89 period. That's when it really hit its boom.
Yeah. And I didn't play Mega Man 2 to I think I did play it around that time. 90 and 91 is when I really got into it. 91. Summer of 91, I first moved to this apartment complex, and fun times right there with Mega Man 2.
From my point of view, it would be 87.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
I'm 36. I'm going to be 37 in a couple months. So
yeah, I just
maybe that had something to do with it. It's just age.
Man, you guys are old.
Yeah, I just turned 35 on October 9th. And
you're young.
Wiiguy just turned 16. Happy sweet 16, Wiiguy.
Thanks, guys.
But still in my jokes.
Yeah. I just turned 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Canadian years.
Well, at least you're legal.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was want to talk about another peripheral that I didn't even know about it. I didn't even know about it until AVGN played it, but Wiiguy recently used it too, not too long ago. The U-Force.
Oh.
U-Force it.
Yes.
And so you've experienced it firsthand, Wiiguy. So what is it like?
It's like it's a very interesting peripheral. I think it is one of the more functional peripherals when it comes to how it was designed with sensors and basically being Kinect before it was ever really taken seriously or mainstream. It's a unique device, and really it is only acceptable with side scrollers, because once you travel to other genres of gaming that aren't side scrollers, it gets a little messy to control.
Yeah.
So, like Top Gun and Mike Tyson's Punch Out, it doesn't work very well.
Well, I've yet to do it with Mike Tyson's Punch Out because I don't have the game, and I don't have not that I think I would need it, but the power bar, which is supposed to enhance, I guess, which...
Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you don't have the power bar.
Yeah, I got that U-Force, my U-Force, for $5 when the guys didn't even know if it worked or not. They were just like, hey, take this if you want. And I was like, I'll take the risk, and it was a good investment, because now the U-Force is $30-$40 alone.
I wish you would have said that first.
What? Said what first?
All the including details of I didn't get the whole U-Force.
Oh yeah, just the lone $5 thing.
Yeah, you need the power bar. You got to raise the bar when it comes to gaming with U-Force.
Well, it's supposed to.
I mean, I was just thinking that, you got the U-Force, so you got the connectors and stuff.
Well, there's no connectors. It's literally kind of like
it's just like a.
You just got the power field.
It's just the U-Force, the little laptop closed thing, and it's just a regular cord.
You got the power field.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Well,
he was.
it's not like the Power Glove where it has sensors and stuff. It's just another thing that connects into the straight into the NES.
I mean,
Right,
Wiiguy
but
was playing with power.
Mm-hmm.
power field. I'm referencing the AVGN video
Yeah,
when I say power field. Okay, anyways.
the power field. You know, when I first seen EVGN showed that, I was like, what? When did that come out? I never heard of that. There's a lot of peripherals that he did in that video I never heard of. The only peripherals I heard of was the Zapper, Power Pad, and Rob the Robot, and the Power Glove.
That's the thing that blew my mind was you could say anything.
And they had ridiculous stuff like the speed board.
Speed boost.
Whatever it's called, that was stupid. Like, really?
No, it was the speed board. You're right.
Oh, yes, yeah, speed board and the piano. That really blew my mind. Like, there was a piano for the NES? What? Wow. And NES had a lot. Nintendo's always been very innovative. But I mean, I think the most successful classic peripheral was the Zapper.
Mm-hmm.
Duck Hunt, and the dog would piss you off. You couldn't shoot it. And playing the disc.
You can actually shoot the dog in the game Barker's Spill Trick Shooting.
Yeah. Oh, you got to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy. I remember, was it Wild Gunman? Yeah. Actually, I never even played that. I just remember Back to the Future. But yeah, the Zapper. I remember when the red Zapper came out, or the red or orange, whatever color it was.
I was going to say that earlier because when I got the the triple pack with the with the power pad, whatever the hell it's called. Sorry.
Yeah.
It came with the orange Zapper.
Yeah.
Not the gray one. Because they thought I would go up into a liquor store and rob it with the gray Zapper.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it could work.
Please don't shoot me. Oh, wait. I see you have a cord behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, you're a 10-year-old kid. Come on, man.
Yeah. Right. All right. So, yeah, I can't think of any more cool memories right now for the NES. We probably touched upon everything. I mean, of course, you probably could go on for another 2 or 3 hours, but I know I could, but I know you guys are get ready to go to bed. So, but we've talked about a lot in this podcast, and it's very awesome that we were able to get together and talk about the best times of the NES. I mean, 30 years of epicness, and I mean, the NES truly has lasted the test of time. And yeah, so I mean, I think that is it. We're out of here unless you guys have anything to say before we go.
I do. Shigeru Miyamoto.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And Satoru Iwata, may he rest in peace and all that. Kanpai Yokoi. Legendary Nintendo developers that shaped our childhoods and all that junk.
Yeah.
Some of them may be gone, some of them are not, some of them it's cool that some of them are around. But, thanks for making great games, and thanks for, bringing video games back to North America, because that would suck if we were just, watching crappy movies all the time, because original Nintendo was awesome.
Yeah. And wait, what was it? Miyamoto or who is it that passed away?
Satoru Iwata.
No, what about Genpei Yoko?
Yeah.
He also passed away, but
Yes.
that was like several years ago.
Yeah.
Well, he did a lot of great stuff, but he had the failure of
The Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But he also did Metroid.
It was not his
and the
idea.
original Game
Well, I
Boy.
mean, it was his idea, but it wasn't his. Yeah.
Yeah, but he also did Metroid and Game Boy.
Yes, Game Boy.
But yeah, he did pass away. But I was thinking of who wasn't recently. It was Iwata, right?
Yeah, Satoru Iwata was the actual Nintendo president for several years.
Yeah.
And he passed away suddenly.
Yeah.
Of Japan.
Yep.
Yeah. And so thanks to him for the memories we had as a child for the NES, and I mean, and of
Thanks
course,
to Game Genie.
what was that?
Even though I said thanks to Game Genie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're
I
actually
can't
making the
believe
games beatable.
that's not licensed, so we're not allowed to talk about that. No.
It actually did eventually, technically become licensed, but anyway.
Sega licensed it, but not Nintendo.
The Game Genie was freaking awesome. I can't believe we forgot to talk about that. I remember seeing it on commercial, thinking, yes, now.
And it was Comerica in Canada.
Galoob.
Yeah, Galoob.
Well, yeah, it became Galoob, but it was Comerica.
Cramerica Industries. No.
I watched The Gaming Historian.
Yeah. The Game Genie from Galoob. I was like, man, now I can beat some of these hard games. Woohoo, yeah. And yeah, I loved Game Genie. That big old box you got to bring home with the code book and the Game Genie. Man, yeah, that was good stuff. Because I remember the commercial for it. Game over. It's not over till we say it's over. Game Genie. Yeah.
And with certain games like the Current Conquest, you needed a Game Genie because it was almost like insanely difficult how hard these developers made the games. Like no continues, no passwords, got beat all in one sit-in.
Yeah.
A Game Genie was like a godsend.
Yeah, and one of the best YouTube videos out there is Let's Play Game Genie with Billy Mitchell.
Yes.
That's right.
I mean, who the hell is that?
Yeah, my boss.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say another thing about Game Genie is that if you felt that a game was too hard, you could actually make the Game Genie, not make the Game Genie, I'm sorry. You could use the Game Genie to actually make some games harder.
Right.
You could add a challenge.
Right, yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, I saw that, I go, why do I want to make it harder? That's stupid.
Yeah.
But I can see why, because people, want to challenge themselves, and yeah. So it was awesome. I remember Nintendo tried to sue them, or I think it was Nintendo trying to sue them, and then someone had said, "Huh?"
Yeah, they tried.
And someone has made a good point. They said, "What was the analogy?" They said, like, why would you want to stop a kid from playing the game the way he wants it to? It's like a book. If somebody wants to read it, start from the beginning or the end of the book, they have that right. If someone wants to play a game a certain way by cheating or starting at the end of the level, whatever, they have that right. It's their game. Why stop them from playing the game the way they want to play it?
It basically proved that it wasn't an original artistic endeavor.
Yeah. But I mean,
and so in effect, it wasn't a copyright. They didn't infringe the copyright.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And so yeah, Game Genie was cool. Loved Game Genie. And I was going to say,
sadly, I have more.
Go ahead.
Nintendo Cereal, the Nintendo Cereal system.
What?
I never actually tried that before.
That cereal was terrible.
I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Oh God, it was like half of it was Mario and half of it was Zelda. I think. I don't know. I tried that shit when I was a kid. When it was a kid. When I was a kid. Ah. It was awful.
Remember Captain N?
Captain N, the Game Master.
Yep.
That was going to be my other thing.
Yeah, it was a good show at first, except for what they did to Mega Man.
Yeah, well, at least he sounded more
he made him mega horrible.
At least he sounded like
Kid Icarus.
Yeah, he would always say, "Hey, watch out, Uckus."
I hate this stupid.
Watch out, Uckus. Or I don't know. I think that's probably the comic book we saw. I don't remember how Kid Icarus sounded in the cartoon, but
everything ended with Icarus.
Yeah, Icarus. Like, why? Because it's Kid Icarus. Oh,
and everything started with Mega Man. Mega.
Yeah. Hey, Mega.
I'm mega high. Well, you got to get mega high to watch this shit.
Yeah. But at least Mega Man sounded like an actual robot instead of a girl, like he does in like the later games. No.
Oh, Mega Man.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah. Someone told me, well, he's a boy robot. What do you expect? I said, right. He's a boy robot, not a girl robot. No, not Proto Man. Who was it? Was the Mega Man X3 cutscene or some? Or might be Mega Man 8 cutscene. Like base, we don't have to. Shut up, Mega Man. It started trying to attack him.
And it's supposed to be Bass.
Yeah, that's what bass, bass, treble.
Yeah.
I think that was the same game that was like jump, jump, slide, slide.
Yes, it was. Jeez.
I remember that. Well, I mean, it was on PlayStation, but yeah, that was like the beginning thing was awesome. Like the beginning video.
Yeah.
And the game was pretty good, but what'd you do to Mega Man?
Yeah.
Take it back to NES days, please.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
They did.
That's right.
Yeah, Mega Man's 9 and 10.
Yeah.
They went for a more
They didn't
NES
need to do
level.
it for 10. Oh, I hated 10. Loved 9, hated 10.
Yeah, I remember Lewis was saying because Venom 22 was saying that Mega Man 9 was easy, but a lot of people said it was hard, and Venom said, "No, it's easy, man." But Venom is one of those guys like Wiiguy. Venom's just like Wiiguy, real good at games, so I guess to them it was easy. But so yeah,
Sadly, I have more
go ahead.
game shows.
Oh, wait a minute.
Power?
Not Nick Arcade. Please don't say
No.
Nick Arcade.
No. Video Power. I remember from like, oh man, I think 91 or 92, there was a video game show based off of Nintendo. And it was like questions about Nintendo games. And then like, all I remember was at the end, they would put the kids in like kind of a suit and they would have Velcro on it. And they had a certain amount of time to run through like a library of like Nintendo games and stuff, and like they would use the Velcro to stick to games and stuff like that, and then whatever they came out of with it, they got to keep.
Yeah.
I haven't looked it up online. I'm just like going from my memory.
I vaguely remember that. But yeah, I do remember being video game shows, and Nick Arcade was garbage, so I don't want to talk about that. Even though back then I thought it was cool, but looking back on it, I'm like, ugh, wow. But there were other games. So I think there was a Game Pro show, not mistake, based off the magazine Game Pro.
Mhm.
I don't.
Or something else too.
I don't remember that Nintendo years.
And but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things Nintendo related. I mean, man, Nintendo was just, I mean, the '80s. You had Hulk Hogan, and you had cool '80s movies, Rambo, and then in the video game world, you had Nintendo that was dominating. I mean, the '80s were awesome, and Nintendo was a big part of the reason why the '80s were awesome.
And Club Mario.
Club Mario.
You don't remember Club Mario?
I remember Hotel Mario.
No, Club Mario. This was before Hotel Mario. That was before that
Was it like
matchup where they tried to go CD and yeah.
I don't remember Club Mario.
Club Mario was like '89, and then they basically took the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and it was like the next. Man, I don't want to say next level because it wasn't, but it was the next thing after Club Mario. They showed the cartoons, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, and then on Friday they showed that shitty ass Zelda Princess. But the thing on that show was it was two cool dudes. It was basically a ripoff of Bill and Ted. And then, but every once in a while, there was this other guy named Steve, and he would be like, "This is my show now." Nobody remembers this.
No.
One that, I'm not asking Wiiguy, of course, but like, really, come on, guys.
I really don't. I remember the Mario Brothers Super Show and Mario.
I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. It's got to be, but
swing your arms from side to side. Captain Lou Albano, rest in peace.
Well, now everybody thinks I'm crazy, which is great.
Well, you are.
Well, yeah, of course. But damn it.
Wait, there's more. Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's all. Nintendo World Championships.
It was cool to have a tournament back then
Yeah.
where different people around the world can actually compete and see who's the best.
Yeah. But this year was cool though, because Skip Rogers reclaimed his title this year. That was pretty cool. And he showed that on YouTube. That was epic.
Man, yeah.
And
Oh, I'm not replying to you. I'm sorry. I just looked up Club Mario. Yeah. Oh my God. There's a bunch of them.
But yeah. And I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about the ones that passed away that were big influence on Nintendo. I mean, well, this one didn't pass away, but Shigeru Miyamoto, like you said, J-Man, yeah, he's awesome. I thought he would be like the next president of Nintendo Japan. Like,
Well,
think a lot of people
here's
feel-
the thing. I'm going to make a horrible comparison, but Steve Wozniak.
yeah,
You know, I really don't like Apple that much, but he was the driving force behind Apple. Even though Steve Jobs, you know, he did the manipulation, he did the selling. Without Wozniak, without that
right. I get you.
thing there, it would not be possible.
Right.
Me personally, I compare Nintendo the same way.
Yeah.
This is a company that was around for a long time, and of course, I nor anyone knew that. Well, not anyone, but yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that before the internet.
Right.
But there was a driving force behind that, and it worked out well for the NES era, and that's what we have to remember.
Right.
30 years.
Yep.
Has it been that long already? Holy.
30 years of VCW. Right. And we are in the future. I mean, even though there's no floating cars or hoverboards or anything like that, but
I want a hoverboard.
yeah.
We should do a separate podcast about Back to the Future because, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, probably should. But
Not Back to the Future, the game. I still hate that.
No, right. No, when I did my Gunsmoke video today, I forgot to put in the commentary, like, for those of you who expected me to do Back to the Future review just because it's Back to the Future Day, forget it. I'm not gonna don't want to play that game. No, unless it's the new one, which might be good. I don't know, the newer one that came out 2 years ago, whatever. But
You're talking about the
remake.
Yeah,
on the Wii.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's on PS3 and I suppose Xbox as well.
Yeah.
When it first came out, you had to buy it. Well, you bought it, but then it came out in like separate installments. But yeah.
Yeah. But all right, so that about does it for the NES 30th anniversary podcast. If I'm not mistaken, I think next year is going to mark the 25th anniversary of the SNES.
Yeah. For North
Yeah.
America release.
It came out in 91 in North America, is that right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess sometime next year we will be doing a 25th anniversary of the SNES. So I definitely look forward to that one because there's a lot of great memories for the SNES as well. But
yes.
and so
Wait, I got something else.
okay. Nope, you don't, do you?
No.
See, I knew it. I knew it. I knew
I
it.
just had to do it. I had to do it.
I knew it. It's been a while since you've done it. I had a feeling you're going to do it. But
I actually do have more, but yeah, this has been running long, so.
yeah, I mean, I could go on all night, but I know you guys want to probably gotta get going. And but heck, we talked about. I don't know. Wiiguy has the timer. I don't, but probably,
It's going.
yeah, over an hour, probably an hour and a half now. But Yeah, good stuff. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, and talk about the NES and its awesome 30 years of awesome ECW-ness or ECW awesomeness, however you want to put that. And yeah, so yep, definitely a big part of my childhood. The NES, my childhood would not be what it was without the NES. With that said, we're out of here. I'm Ronmower.
Jman.
Guardian Legend World Heavyweight Champion, Starsoldier 1.
And the Wiiguy. Is that me? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, the NES guy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much the NES guy all the time, but
Yeah.
forever Wiiguy. I am. That's me.
All right, guys. Woohoo! God bless and take care.
See you all later.
Maniac Mansion.
Make it bye.
Listen to 8-Bit Stereo for all your NES music needs.